You're listening to Lane County Mugshots Uncensored, the podcast, with your host, Michael Weber.
Hey, I hear it's a hell of a show coming up.
And with him as usual, Kevin Prachu. Well, welcome, Mike. Another gorgeous sunny Sunday. It is June 20th. 2021. Welcome, folks, to season 3, episode 14.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. We're not episode 14. You know, that's already the first glitch. For some reason, this is episode 13. Sacking the bad guys that put that together.
You know, interns. Are you kidding me? I mean, you know, KZI's listening right now, and they're just shaking their heads too. Yeah, them darned interns goof everything, misspell stuff. How good that?
Yeah, well, sure. You know, we have been working on all kinds of technical things here in the last few weeks. So server upgrades for our website and show upgrades as we've been able to slip them in. So, yeah, definitely.
It's been a busy 2 weeks.
Been a busy couple of weeks. Hey, Mike, so I just threw the number up there on the screen, and if there are people that might be interested in talking to us, they certainly can. We have a call-in line. It's 541, and the number to scroll by, 255-3665. You could be part of the show. Please consider giving us a call and giving us your input on any of our topics tonight. You can also be part of the show by adding to comments if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube. There are channels for which you can comment, and we can throw those on the screen as well. So anyway, welcome to the show.
Yeah. Oh, it's past 3 days have been like, wow. I don't know where we start, but I know where we usually start. We'll get to the good stuff last.
Yeah, we shall. We do need to do at least a little bit of housekeeping first, so let's do that. So just letting people know how they can be part of our show. So right behind us here, you can see the YouTube channel. And that here is essentially the way that you can help us out by going there and subscribing. That gives us and unlocks magic features that we don't even know about. But we hear it's like achievement unlocked kind of action there. So.
It is. You get invisibility, and your weapons are upgraded up to a larger size, right, I'm pretty sure.
LCMugs.com/podcast gets you to our YouTube channel. And, anyway, let me do this so people can see. It's not wanting to do this for us. But over here...
Wow.
No, isn't that cool? That magic subscribe button. It's
arrow just went past my head. I don't even know what happened there.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, we'll get on to the usual part of the show. So,
yeah, now that we've got the sponsors out of the way. These guys.
Yeah. Right here, we're going to. So we're working with the technology, Mike, and I want people to be able to see what's on our screen right here, and the thing is saying, no, you can't do that. There it is.
Want me to bang on the green screen?
Would you hit the thing with the hammer, man? We need to...
The Jumbotron, I smack this thing. There we go. That's working better now.
Right.
That's a good
So I didn't even think we were going to be able to do this segment here because we were working on server upgrades and things like that. We hadn't been even able to collect the information, but we've got it out there now. And sure enough, the sex offenders for the last couple of weeks, June 7th through the 20th.
Yeah.
So definitely keep count, Mike. We're going to get into these here. So.
Yeah, well, I know one thing, that on the 10th, we had, not even counting the failures to report, we had 3 people on the 10th. So I already know we have 3. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to win this because I already know. 3. Right. I'm at 3 right now.
All right, let's dig in.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's cool, man. So the failure to reports, those are the ones that we try to do first here, because these are the people that we know have actually been convicted of something, and they just haven't reported in like they should. So
yeah, or as I call them, failures.
They are failures. Here we go, Jeffrey Wayne Schwartz.
May the Schwartz be with you. Yes.
Right.
There's like 4 other people listening that got that joke. The rest of them are like, that isn't funny.
Tuesday, June 8th, Mr. Schwartz, and I don't know how in the world someone like this even gets anywhere near somebody without even being concerned. But anyway, we won't even go there.
Yeah, whatever.
Moving on, Daniel Blake.
Custance.
Failed to report on Wednesday, the June 9th. These are the only charges in this particular case. And then here we have on the 12th, looks like he's sleeping now, Michael Eric Tavernier.
Yeah,
Sure, right. So he was picked up on criminal mischief 2, criminal trespass 2, failure to report as a sex offender, and parole violation.
You know, it just...
it doesn't pay to get out of bed some days to go out.
Someday we should put what time of the day it was that they got caught, because some of these are like 2:45 in the morning, and you're like, this guy wasn't going to work. What the heck happened?
Right. Yeah, there may be more to the story there that we could put together if we put the times on. Yeah, maybe we could start doing that as well.
Basically, just stay home, Michael. That's probably your best thing. You got into some mischief.
Yeah. Here we also have Adam Cole, Meskim? Okay.
I don't know. I'm just going to make them up.
All right. Criminal trespass 2. Failure to report as a sex offender. There's 2 misdemeanor charges and then a felony charge there. Actually, I'm sorry. I see it now. There's actually 3 misdemeanor and 1 felony charge. Also,
sure? Which one are we on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's got a misdemeanor criminal trespass 2. Then he has felony failure to report. He has misdemeanor failure to report. He has misdemeanor failure to report. And I'm not stuttering. And he has misdemeanor failure to report, and then unlawful possession of heroin felony. So he
was up to no good. That we can be certain, right?
It's been a while since Adam checked in.
Yeah, you notice we didn't get a photo with him.
Well, I'll be darned.
But I did look, and turns out though he does have one. So
it's not his first rodeo.
Not his first rodeo. So he is actually picked up back in June of 2020, and he had an approximate 2.5 day stay at the jail at that time. So
he looks pretty pleased with himself.
Yeah, right.
I'm checking into the Holiday Inn.
No doubt. Moving on, and we also have Robert Joe Dansforth, and failure to report as a sex offender, misdemeanor charges twice on June 15th. Yeah. So on
Bobby Joe Danforth.
Yeah. So that takes us down to the alleged crimes, Mike. These are the ones that have come through, and you've been posting more of these here, highlighting them in the group lately. So
I've been trying to. Past few days, we had something else we're not allowed to talk about quite yet, but there was kind of a 3-day blur for me. But
yeah, right.
Anyway, let's get on and let's get on with these. I do know that, like I said, on the 10th we had 3 people, like within minutes of each other.
Yeah, I know. It was crazy. It's like we didn't have anything for a while, and I remember you even commented. You sent me a message. It was like, we haven't had anything come through in a while, and then all of a sudden it was like, boom, there we go. So
yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Well, let's get on with the show. I'm
trying to keep, right. You got a lot to talk about. Oh, you keep a count? All right. This is
we're like 3. No, wait.
Michael Shea Stanley. Is that what
Michael Shea Stanley?
Yeah, he's got a failure to report as sex offender, including amongst the other charges, felon in possession of a weapon, sex abuse 2nd degree, unlawful delivery of oxycodone, and then possession of cocaine and possession of oxycodone as well.
When parties go bad.
I know. Anyway, so obviously up to no good there. Got picked up for that.
So that's it. Now we can get to the good news? No, wait.
And we also have this person that you don't see here, Logan Odell Bowles. This is assault in the 4th degree. 2 of those, menacing, and then 2 sexual abuse in the 2nd degree and some strangulation.
Felony strangulation, yeah.
Now, interesting, something you may want to notice. I was like, okay, well, we don't have a photo for him, but then I found he had been in our mugshots before. So here he is, arrested in February, just earlier this year for fourth degree assault, menacing, second and third degree sex abuse, and strangulation. So
I'm seeing a pattern, and once again, this is not his first rodeo.
Yeah, basically.
I should probably quit saying that because the rodeo is going to have a huge deal.
I know, rodeos could be fun.
Rodeos are awesome,
yeah.
and cowboys are cool, and cowgirls are even cooler. But at any rate, I'll quit saying it was their first rodeo. Yeah.
No, so I know that he wound up back in our mugshots, and so I didn't know if this was actually because we had him before, and then we took him back out.
We did. It was like a month or two ago. Mm-hmm. He came up in our mugshots, and he had very similar charges, not exactly the same.
Corey Lee wins,
Corey Lee wins, and there was a lot of people sticking up for him, and this is all fake, and, this isn't happening, there's allegations, and lo and behold, the first set of allegations were dropped.
Right, I remember that. We removed the mugshot.
We removed his mugshot, we removed all the information, and like I said, it's like weeks later, Corey Wynn shows up again, and from what I'm being told by someone close to the investigation, this is a second person to come forward. This isn't a rerun of the past charges. This is now another alleged victim that's come forward. Okay. And I was also told that the person that came forward before with the first charges, that the district attorney is going to look into those charges again. There's no guarantee on that, but they're going to review those now that they have this information. But yeah, Corey Lee wins of Florence.
Very unfortunate situation there. Yeah, we removed the mugshot before because give the benefit of the doubt, and the charges had been dropped. So
that's what we do. So.
Yeah. Moving on, we also have. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this.
I'll
justice.
Go ahead and try them. Darshawn Shakir Nolan.
Okay. Yeah.
Rape one.
Rape one charge. Yep.
This is interesting because this is our next slide is connective.
Oh, is it really? Okay. So this, okay, move up to the next one then. So what do we...
So what we got here is Ethan Matthew Jenkins with rape one charge.
Yeah. So
Ethan and Darshawn are being accused of participating in the same rape of one woman.
Oh man.
Ethan, let's see if I can remember this right.
Yeah.
Ethan by being like an accessory, aiding and abetting, and Deshaun as being forced compulsion. So so there's a huge story behind that, but yes, those two were arrested.
So we may learn more about that as time goes on.
Yeah, they were both arrested for the same rape. One of them...
Let me keep an eye on their charges and see whether those stick or not. And
so far, they've stuck.
Have they?
And those have been the only charges they've gotten. They didn't have a list.
There's a story there.
Yeah.
All right. Very unfortunate. So catching up to the next one here, we have...
By the way, this is the third one for June 10th. The
right, yeah.
June 10th,
that's when it got really busy. Yeah, well, it just seemed like we just started getting a lot of...
So let's see here. We have Stephen Philip Anderson, and he had more charges, if I remember right. No, maybe not so many of them. At any rate, right now he has sex abuse in the first-degree felony, sex abuse in the second-degree felony.
Oh.
So
nasty.
Yeah.
On to this one. This is... Thomas Ray Oliver Mode. I can actually say this name. Endangering the welfare of a minor, giving liquor to a minor, intoxicating person. That's an interesting charge. Rape in the first degree, sex abuse in the first degree, sodomy in the first degree, and then unlawful delivery of marijuana. So basically when you see the minor listed in the charges, then you see the liquor and the drugs, and then you see the sex. It's like, kind of predictable that somebody basically was able to successfully, but
grooming a minor,
through the use of drugs and alcohol.
So I can tell you right now, I do know something. I mean, I know some basics about it. First off, his charges have been reduced to sex abuse in the first degree. That's now his only charge that's pending in court. The other thing is, so that charge means that his victim was age 13 or under.
Oh, okay. With
Age
the
13,
first degree.
First degree, yeah. Well, it's a complicated law, but I mean, we can narrow it down to that it says in the law that it's someone who's under 14, so therefore 13 and younger. But some of the relatives for the child involved in this were also in the group and mentioned some things, which you can go back to our group, Lane County Mugshots Uncensored. Ask to join if you don't already are a member. Look for his face, and there's a lot more information in that thread.
Okay. Yeah. We will then move on here then to next slide.
Who's next? It's Douglas Stephen Belzix.
Nice try with the name. I couldn't have done better. It's really sex abuse of the first degree on this guy. Well, go ahead.
So far, none of these alleged offenders have ever contacted our show and went,
You've said my name wrong.
That
Yeah.
is not my last name.
That's not my name. Yeah, we haven't had that.
Is Belts.
Maybe somebody's trying to call now. No, okay. So the number's flashing up there on the screen. Any of these guys could call in and correct us right now if they like.
You were looking at the bat phone.
It's the bat phone. Yeah.
Well, you can't see it on the screen, but there's a big red commissioner.
The direct line into Lane County Mugshots. Only certain people know
they
it.
have to be able to get a hold of us. So that's
okay.
it.
Yay. Well, sorry, Mike. Moving on. We also have Ryan, Eugene, Leavis. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
2 rape third-degree charges here.
Wow. Yeah, I don't. I mean, if you want to know more about any of these, number one, look up the charges, in general, so you can read through them and understand, what age group, what applies, what basically caused the charges about.
The charges about, yeah.
And you can also go to Lane County Mugshots Uncensored, find that picture, and there's usually more information under there.
Another thing, too, is that you can also do follow-up yourself. If you just type into Google Oregon court records online, it'll give you access into court records, and you can type in a name and look and see. And if their charges don't show up, that's a good indicator that they've been dropped.
Sure.
You got to make sure you're looking for the right person. Depending on the name, you might wind up looking at the wrong person. So make sure. But yeah, there's lots of tools online and actually available and linked from OregonCrimeNews.com.
Yeah.
You go check that out.
I use those quite a bit in the group to kind of keep up with, what's happening with the people that have been accused of these sex crimes, and then let the group know, okay, here's where we're at. Trial's coming up on this date. They're going to have a hearing. They just had whatever's going on. Let them know.
Yeah. So, Mike, question for you.
Yeah.
How many offenders did we have?
Every week.
This is what we do, man. And we got to make the show interesting here.
Let's see if Mike has any memory left at 56 years old.
Yeah.
God dang. Well, I know we at least had 3, because 3 of those happened in one day.
Yeah. And we're not getting. Whoa! You win, Mike. You win.
That's weird.
What that was weird.
I was going to say 14.
I don't know what just happened there, but you just won, Mike. The answer was 14. So.
Well, there it goes. Yeah.
It's the demons within the show. I don't know what's going on there.
It's the interns. I think I'm going to trade KZI for our interns for maybe one of theirs or something. I bet they got somebody. They're like, God dang it, Bob, you got to quit, man.
Something, dude. Something.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But at any rate, so that's now on to. Yeah. Okay.
That was it.
All right. Oh, we don't have that. We don't have that.
I told you that the 13th episode was going to have hiccups, dude. I told you. Well. Who cares? It's fun.
Hey,
anyway.
At least you didn't hit the button, because no one ever knows if I'm going to be right or wrong. At least you hit the right button, so I look good.
Yeah. The sad news is that the 14 that's a one pretty much each day of the week over the last 2 weeks. That's Anyway,
one a day plus iron.
Right. If we were going to look at the year in total, you want to try your hand at that one, Mike? I'm not so far in the number of days that we've had this year, which I don't have the count, but
I can only get close on this. I'm going to go with 140 something. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, you're pretty close. Yeah, very well, Mike. It's 146.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, well done. You're always a winner in my book, no matter what. So,
yeah. Well, it's Father's Day, so I'm a winner anyway. Yeah. So are you. So
right on. Wanted to remind folks, if you hadn't, the 12th episode, boy, was that a really cool episode. If you remember, we actually got to hang out and chat with Robert from NLM Entertainment for just a little while, and
that was awesome.
Yeah,
he's so
really
easy
neat guy
to talk to. He's just down to earth. It's like I'm talking to an old friend when he's.
I know. Yeah. Well, and it might be just because we watched them a lot. You see, and I just threw it on the screen here again. There's just a little bit from their video from a couple of weeks ago, and the whole point of that is that not to rehash everything that we talked about, but if you want to go check it out, we're on YouTube, and lcmugs.com/podcast will get you to our YouTube channel the fastest, and then you can go and watch that episode or that particular video. We did a highlight video, so you don't have to watch our whole podcast if you don't want to.
Yeah.
You just go and watch this interview
and also
with Robert Bernard, right?
Yeah, and also go to,
NLM Entertainment, yes, on
go
Facebook.
There and check out some of their videos.
And on YouTube.
And like them on YouTube. They're so great. They're in Bakersfield, California, and we get a lot of people going like, why are you putting this Bakersfield stuff up? I can just tell you right now, you can complain all you want, but we are thoroughly addicted to it, and it's just going to keep coming up.
Yeah.
So just scroll by. Scroll by. It's no big deal. Just scroll by.
Well, I'll tell you for a second. We can maybe clue people in just for a second, just to kind of wet their whistle a little bit as to what NLM Entertainment is all about. So we don't have access to police scanner here, but down in Bakersfield they do.
Yes.
Yeah. So these guys and gals that are involved in NLM listen to their scanner, and they go out almost every night. I think they only go maybe one or two nights that they don't, or something.
Yeah, I think it's Sunday and Monday night. They do not. They don't go live.
So 5 nights a week, and that's still quite a bit because this is a lot of their personal time. But they get out there, usually by 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. And they listen to the calls, and then they go and they follow them, and they chase after them with their camera, and they have really good quality camera streaming going on there.
Oh my God, they got 20 times zoom. It looks like you're about 3 counties away, and Robert will just zoom in, he'll be like, it looks like there's somebody there, and you're looking, you're like, I don't see anything, and then bam, you can read the guy's T-shirt.
Yeah.
It's amazing. To a degree, it's like Cops, but unedited. So you watch Cops, and they're like call, but this is. A lot of time they just sit and they wait to get a call, and then they go after it. But it's Robert gets super good shots, and it's just really addicting.
And what I found pretty kind of like in concept, conceptually, you think that somebody out there with a camera filming the cops has got to keep the cops kind of even a little bit more accountable.
Yeah.
At least I would think so.
Well, it makes everybody think twice about what they're going to do because it's live.
Right. So in a way that can be a good thing that they're out there and doing this. If you're trying to look at the positives that come from that. Anyway, just a reminder, go check it out. Yeah.
Check out Robert and his crew. They're addictive, and then you won't be complaining about it. You'll be addicted, and you'll be complaining that you're addicted, and I'd much rather have that.
Yeah, totally.
Than the static that I get, but it's going to keep continuing.
Mike, there has been a lot of action here in town this week. A lot of times we don't have much to report, but this is not one of those weeks. So,
I'm telling you, our mugshots have been down. We've been upgrading our server, getting a different
we
server.
picked the right week to upgrade servers, right?
We did, and the other night I'm thinking to myself, well, let me see if I can just kind of scan Facebook and find some interesting, crime news that's going on around Oregon, anywhere. And I came across a shooting at a marijuana dispensary in Coos Bay. Somebody had driven out.
I remember seeing that, yeah.
Jumped into their truck and tore off. And I thought, well, it's a little out of our range, but I'm going to go ahead and grab that, put it in the group, and let people discuss it. That is news, and it's Oregon. Coos Bay, 75
not
miles
that far away,
from
yeah.
Eugene, not from where we are. It's like 400 miles from where we are now. But it's 75 miles from Eugene. And so I put this out,
right.
And lo and behold, this became a national news story.
Interesting. Like, you just picked this story out of the blue and kind of made it a thing just to kind of fill in for the mugshots that we didn't have. Yeah, and this became like the big news item.
It did. I mean, normally I don't think I would have pulled on this unless I'd known like this was if they'd given a name and I'd been like, oh, well, we published this mugshot. This kind of has something to do with Lane County. I picked this random, and then it turned out that this story went through Lane County.
Wow. All right. Got it up on the screen here, Mike.
Sure.
Tell us what's, because there's some confusion here. We were getting information, right? That
sure.
There was, okay.
We were getting information behind the scenes, so no one else was confused. Just, a few of us that, some of us that help with the news get privileged to get some information here and there, from here and there, and we don't give up our sources. But right away when this hit, so what happened is this man, and I'm not even going to say if this is in the correct order or not. Owen Evans Nicholson, age 30, is accused of first killing his father in a trailer park that's a trailer RV kind of park that's next to the Mill Casino.
Wow.
And then, like I'm saying, not necessarily in the correct order, but then running two people over in that same trailer park area, killing one of those people, and then he picks up some more ammo, I believe, at some point, and he drives to a dispensary in Coos Bay, and just walks out of his truck, raises up a gun, goes inside, shoots a woman behind the counter, jumps back in his truck, and not to be seen for hours.
Whoa.
And they're doing giant manhunt. They're driving around Coos Bay looking for this guy. Coos Bay and North Bend, which, for anybody that's never been there, it's quite a bit like Eugene, Springfield. It's just like one
one big
city,
kind of sprawling.
Yeah, and somebody took a knife and went, there you go, you're Eugene, you're Springfield.
Right, yeah,
it's just like North Bend, Coos Bay are like the same places, and I'm sure I'm going to get hate calls. No, we're way better than Coos Bay. You don't make fun of us out here in North Bend. But at any rate, so he just disappeared. I mean, he drives away from this dispensary after shooting this woman and killing her. So this is 3 people that die by his hand. And we still want one of the people from the trailer park that was hit and run is in critical condition at River Bend right now. But at any rate, so early on in the investigation, we get some back information. So the guy ends up crashing on 126, Highway 126 near Notai.
Oh, wow.
And,
so in Lane County.
In Lane County.
Yeah.
I mean, I picked this story at random before he crashed, and I'm like, here's something to keep everybody entertained until we can get these mugshots working. And he ends up in our backyard. As Lane County is concerned, he ends up in our backyard. He's in Notai, crashed. So right after the crash happens, I have, people that ship me information from here and there and other places. And I get this picture, as you can see behind us, that's the DMV picture, and I was told that the shooter's name is probably Charles Nichols. So I look him up, and sure enough, he's got a big, huge record. And then Coos Bay and North Bend give us some pictures of the suspect who has not been named. And on my end, I'm not giving away the information at the time. I'm looking at this DMV photo, and I'm looking at the pictures from, the pot store and from Big 5 where he bought more ammunition. I'm like, yeah, that's spot on. That's Charles Nicholson.
It looks exactly, because those low-quality photos there on the right, you could easily say, that's the same guy, same nose, same...
And we were too.
Facial hair, yeah.
And kind of, and we just kept that, kept those cards close, and we didn't let anybody know. And then the news came out, and they identified the subject as, and I assume that his first name is pronounced Owen, like Owen.
But without, yeah?
Yeah, so it's Owen Evan Nicholson, 30. So here's the creepy thing, is it's not Charles Daniel Nicholson. I haven't quite placed who that man is, except for I have got to say this.
They have to be related.
These guys have got to be brothers.
Wow.
It's just too coincidental. And so some of my theory, and as we all know, I could be wrong, but some of my theory is that early in the game, law enforcement knew that that the man in the trailer had been killed by one of his children. But they couldn't figure out who. And so I think initially they may have thought that it was Charles. And then as their investigation moved on, obviously they probably got hold of Charles. And Charles is like, yeah, that's not me.
Yeah.
And so then they figured out that it was Owen. But I mean, that's just a huge coincidence that right out of the bucket after he crashes, the information we get is that the shooter is Charles Daniel Nicholson. Now the father, 83 years old, his name is Charles Sims Nicholson. But yeah, just strange coincidence, and they do look alike. And I am kind of digging into this. It's trivial. It doesn't matter to any of this. But I'm just curious because I believe that law enforcement thought it might have been Charles, and that's why they held back on the identification publicly.
So you mentioned Notai.
Yeah.
Let's flash this up here so people can see what we're talking about here.
Yeah, that's Notai.
Well, and that's the exact location. You sent this to me earlier here.
Yes, give or take a few actual feet. That is the location where Owen crashed his father's Dodge truck and then tried to light it on fire. And so at this point, because we're not even done with this story yet, we're still in Oregon.
Yeah, this is just the beginning. We've just started talking about this story.
Easy. We're not. I mean, we're halfway done with the story right now, as far as like what happened. So he crashes here, and lights the truck on fire. According to law enforcement, he lit the vehicle on fire. They feel that was not part of the accident, but part of him doing
intentional.
And they said also that law enforcement said we are interested in talking to somebody in a white sedan that may have stopped. But they also said that witnesses saw him going up into the woods. So we don't know necessarily at that point which happened first. You know, what happened, the chicken or the egg on this? Did he run up in the woods, somebody stopped, and he came back out? We don't know, but somehow or another, Owen ends up from Notai all the way to Gateway in Springfield. So now we've gone from, Coos Bay, North Bend. We've gone to Notai, Oregon. Now we're in Springfield, Oregon, and he is at the Gateway Mall. And he's at the Gateway Mall, and he jacks
on Gateway.
Yeah. I try to stay away from there.
Right.
I don't have any good shivs, but so he jacked some woman and her vehicle, and we without
See, I didn't even hear about any of this. I've been so busy doing server upgrades. Yeah, so I'm so glad you're telling me all of this, man.
Well, I mean, at this point, we can put it all together. I had no idea that this woman initially, when Springfield reported that this woman had been possibly kidnapped and taken away in her own car, the farthest thing from my mind, I mean, a little bit of it was, well, there's always that possibility. We have no idea where this, triple homicide suspect is. But I really didn't put a lot of thought into it that this was part of that. Other people even mentioned it too. Oh my God, we don't know where that triple homicide guy has gone to. And I'm kind of like, I don't know. I mean, we have crime. And it was posted, but he jacks that car with the woman in it, and they drive for, what did we figure, 33 plus hours.
I was going to have to say, it was like
33 plus hours.
Because how far did they make it?
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Wow.
I mean, they have good cheese. Maybe that was the motivation.
Right.
But, I mean, so you got to think about this. They drove 33 hours in what would be called non-stop. So they did stop. They stopped for, bathroom breaks. They had to put gas in the thing. Cars only go about 400 miles per a tank. But they stopped for gas. I'm sure they got food. And during this 33-hour trip that we figure, because we know when the car was jacked and we know when he actually he gave up. He he gave up. He turned himself in.
After all that, he turned himself in.
He did, and so what the
In
news...
Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin.
Wow.
Home of the
What
best.
what do you think happened there?
Well, they say that the woman that he carjacked, 33-hour trip, was talking to him, and she talked him into turning himself in. That is what law enforcement is telling us, is that she talked him into that. And I'd also like to mention that somebody
That's
put
cool.
up, somebody put up a $10,000 reward for information that would lead to this man's arrest. And I'm telling you right now, this woman, she gets that money. And if she don't, I mean, you and I are going to...
She should, yeah.
She caused him to turn himself in. That's the same exact thing as giving information.
Man,
to,
I'd pitch in on that reward.
Oh, I'm going to tell you what. I am following that money, as it were. And if that woman is not awarded that money, it will be news.
Yeah.
We'll make this news, because that's just not fair. You don't get to dangle that. And that woman hijacked, not knowing if she's going to be killed. I mean, we have no idea what they discussed for sure.
Right.
She must have found out.
I would love to have her on our show.
I would love to. Yeah, she's a Springfield resident, evidently, or in our area.
Be able to get that story. Yeah.
That would be interesting to talk to her about what those 33 hours were about. But I mean, this made national news before he even turned himself in. David Muir had this on ABC.
Amazing. Yeah. And that's her story will make it out there, and the traditional media will do their interviews. But having her on the podcast, we might be able to get a little bit more in depth, kind of the unedited. So we'd like to put that out there if she would be interested in telling the story.
I got something I just wanted to mention before we move on.
I think
we're about done. I mean, that guy, they ended up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They said that the victim, the woman whose car was jacked, she will be, probably already has by now, but she was flown back to Eugene, to the Lane County area. Evidently, her car is going to be evidence, because it's still there. I don't know what they're going to do with that, but at any rate, before we move on to something else, which I have no idea about, if you want to be part of the show, call in. We've got all this technology.
Yes, we do.
We bought
At our
technology.
fingertips.
You people looked at Mugshots. You saw the ads we had. That made us a tiny bit of money, not enough to feed ourselves, but we bought some cool stuff.
Yeah.
And we have phone equipment plugged in. We can put you on live. Be part of the show. Call in live. 541-255-3665.
And another way that you can connect in with the show is through the comments on Facebook and YouTube, which we have, Mike. So,
oh my goodness,
it's we have.
Let's go to the comments.
We have several now. So I like this one. I'm going to start with this.
Sure.
So Tammy wants to know, Michael, what are your credentials? You're so knowledgeble about the police department, the laws, etc.
I have
what are your credentials, Mike? I'd like to know.
So first we'll be funny,
partner.
and I'll go ahead and let you know I have a high school diploma. I graduated from Elmira High School, and I can articulate and spell fairly well. I also went to Lane Community College, graduated with honors from a metalworks and paint auto program. I am also an ordained minister. So those are basically my credentials. I've got some transmission ones too, but those are from years ago. But yeah, so that's my credentials. But to get back to your question, I have no credentials. I've just been dealing with
some schmuck that.
Yeah, I've been not you. I've been dealing with mugshots and crime that's going on, and you guys get interested in one case, or you're the victim in a case, or part of the family, so you really study this one. I've had to kind of really study a lot of these, and it's just been by that experience where I'm at. And I will tell you right now, I do not know that much about this. It seems like I do, but I don't. I have to ask people questions all the time. I have a friend that's a lawyer, and he doesn't give me free advice, but what he does is he gives me free knowledge. So if I ask him about laws or how things work, he'll tell me, but if I'm in trouble, then I got to shovel money. But he's worth it, though. Wow. But and I have there's a few police officers I know, and I talk to them about how things work. I mean, it's the police, and they talk to me, but they're not talking to me about stuff that matters. I mean, I can ask them, well, when this kind of an accident happens, what's the procedure? How do you how do you do an investigation? What's involved with that investigation? So they'll tell me things like that. They're not.
Most of the time, we're pretty much getting the same stories that the regular media gets. We subscribe to the same lists and have all the same information that most of the media has.
Just press releases.
Yeah.
But.
Occasionally, now and then, just because of connections, not necessarily with law enforcement, but just other areas of the community, you might get bits of the story that other people might not get.
I do. I mean, I get stuff. I mean, and don't get this wrong. I mean, the police aren't calling me up and telling me stuff that I'm not supposed to know. They don't. They are good people that I deal with, but they answer me questions in generalities. They don't talk to me about specific things. But on the other hand, for everything that happens in our community, there is always somebody, and as I put it, close to the investigation. Family, friends, even the person that the investigation is over. Those people have contacted me and thrown information at me that was pretty privileged. So, but no, I have no credentials when it comes to this. I can legally perform wedding ceremonies, and I will be July 14th performing a wedding ceremony.
How awesome that is!
In my backyard. I mean, and they sent me an invitation, so I'm not going to mention the people. I don't want to.
All right. Well, now I want to know.
Well, no, it's nobody that anybody knows. It's a good friend of mine.
Awesome. But the fact that you can do that, and we joked about that when you got that license here on the show, we were just like the value add that you get with here at Lane County Mugshots Uncensored.
Yeah, sure.
If any of you in prison need somebody to marry you, Mike's your guy.
Well, I'm not marrying them. I'm going to perform the ceremony. Let's keep this clean, Kevin.
All right.
I'll give to my community, but that's where I draw the line. I'm not doing that.
Someone wants to know, Mike. Ann is asking, "Hey, Michael, why do you keep shutting down comments on posts? I understand when some posts go nuts, but many have been shut down with less than 60 comments."
So that's a good question. A lot of times, and what you're not seeing are the comments that I've taken down. There's a lot of things that go into decisions that we make. One of them could be, are we just going around in what I call a circle? Are we repeating the same questions and answering the same questions? And then it's time to just shut them down because people are just they're not reading the comments. Some of them go really south, and Facebook pulls comments, and I'm busy with this triple homicide. I was kind of looking into that and trying to answer questions about it. I just don't have time to babysit somebody or a thread and be like, okay, well, that was a racist comment. Oh, well, you can't say that on Facebook. And so things get shut down for a variety of reasons. I mean, what you should kind of consider is that myself and my admin team, which includes Kevin, we're literally babysitting 62,200 people. I think we just surpassed 62,000 the other day. And it can get very busy. And what people don't know is in the background, people are asking me information. Can you look this person up? Can you find out what's going on with this? And so I'm constantly, since I'm kind of retired at the moment, I am constantly on the computer dealing with mugshots, crime, laws, helping people out. And, if all the planets align wrong, sometimes comments get shut off. But I would say in general, you're not seeing everything that may have happened in that thread to shut it down. So.
And it's a good question. There's no ill intent for sure. There's always reasons why the admins and some people shut their own threads down too.
They do. We'll open them up sometimes just for fun. But I will mention this, and we pull as much political crap as we can out of that group.
Yes.
What's
thankfully.
Funny is, and I'm not even going to get into all this election thing. If you put down Biden's name, that comment goes. If you put down Trump's name, that comment goes. You put down Bernie's name, that comment goes. What's funny is I pulled somebody had posted Trump 2020. This was, last year, and somebody else posted right underneath of that Biden 2020. So of course I'm like, here's the deal. It's politics. I don't want it in my group. I don't care. You guys, there are millions of places to go and discuss whichever candidate you like or hate the best. Don't give a crap. So I removed both comments. So I removed a pro-Trump comment and a pro-Biden comment. Here's the funniest thing. I go check my messages, and I got 2 messages that are nearly exactly the same, except for the word Republican, Democrat, Biden, and Trump. I get one guy, well, it's good to know what side you're on. You're just one of those Trump-loving, Republicans. The next letter was, well, at least I know what side you're on. You're one of those Biden-loving Democrats. Yeah. And I was like, oh, if I could just frame these two, this would be so
you
awesome.
got lots of that kind of shit when the protests were going on, and you would post the live feeds, and this is like just information,
It's
this
information.
is just, yeah.
I mean, when these protests happened in our city and in Portland, they were taking up where you drive.
Right.
They were breaking windows one night where you shop. I mean, we were bringing you live information, and what was funny is that same thing with that. People were like, "You just posted that stuff to make fun of BLM," and I'm like, "What?" And then other people are like, "Oh, you're all pro BLM." What I am is none of anybody's business when it comes to this.
And we don't put it out there in the group because it's
politics,
it's not what this is about. Yeah,
and my politics don't matter. I mean, I've been a Barry Williams, for president fan forever, and I don't know if you may know who that is.
I don't. But
okay. Well, you guys can just go ahead and Google that. But that's who I want for president. So you guys go ahead and make fun of me now.
You slapped the table, Mike. I accidentally clicked the mouse on this comment. Sick freaks, and I'm pretty sure they were talking about the sex abuse. Yes, lots of sex abuse going on when we were doing that. And then even somebody else commented and was like, yeah, lots of sick people out there. Well,
it is a pandemic.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Someone else is like, my mom used to call them sick puppies. So anyway, someone else is saying, hey, I know 2 people who should be on the sex offender list. Oh my goodness.
If you're being serious, whose name is on there? I can't even read it from here.
Yeah.
Dang it. Where's my old man glasses? Somebody start a GoFundMe. I'm pretty sure I need some glasses. This is getting out of hand.
We also had a comment back when you won you guessed the number of people. And you were the winner. Mike is more of a winner, though, because he has more kids. Sorry. Well, I don't know.
Because he has more kids. Yeah, I have more kids than a lot of people.
We'll get.
We'll get to some of that later. I've got some cool stuff to show you.
Cool. Now, who's the other guy? A brother or who that was back when we were doing the story?
Jessica Morales. Sorry for that. We believe that Can we go back to the slide? I don't know how this works.
Yeah, it might be a little bit difficult to get there at the moment.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. I mean, that's what we get. I fired that intern. He's gone.
Well, hang on. You talk about it, and I'll see if I can make it happen, Mike.
Okay, so Jessica Morales. My theory, which I have not substantiated with anybody or anything on the face of this earth, is that Charles Daniel Nicholson and Owen Evans Nicholson are related. These people look totally the same. And as I said, somebody close to the investigation, right after the crash happened and they were looking for him, had sent me, if you see the blue background picture of Charles Daniel Nicholson, they sent me that and said, this is possibly the guy we're looking for. Now, and they told me that his name was Charles Nicholson, no middle name. Then, we get these pictures of the of him at the pot shop and at the Big Five, and I'm like, oh my God, that's him.
Sorry, Mike, I got to cut this back to us here because we somehow advanced the slides where we didn't mean to. So,
oh my God, now we're in the future, but they can still hear me. So,
yes.
But
keep talking.
So my thought there is that they are related. I would say brothers. There's 17 years difference between them, but I believe they're brothers, and I believe what happened. And nothing against law enforcement. I mean, are you kidding me right now? Let me throw one of you into that trailer and into that pot store and tell you, go ahead and let's find the guy. What do you know? You don't know anything. How are you going to figure it out? But I think they realized right away that Charles Sims Nicholson had been killed by his son. But I think that they may not have known which son did it in their investigation, and quite possibly that DMV picture was passed around. I don't know. I didn't get it from law enforcement. I just got it. I get stuff from people, and some people gave me that one and that name, like right at the no-tie incident. So to me, it's like, it's not important to this, but I'm kind of strange when it comes to some of these. I'll spend all night researching something.
Mike loses sleep.
I do.
It's true.
And in this case, this is like an unfinished, it's untidy. I want to seal this all up and be done. I mean, we haven't had the trial or the sentencing for this guy, but it's going to happen. He's done. This is him in life for the rest of his life in prison. But kind of like a little bit of unfinished business is, okay, who is Charles the picture I was sent? I mean, that can't be some coincidence that this guy looks identical to the actual suspect and has the same last name. But at any rate, yeah.
I bet you we'll have more info by the next show. Like by,
we will.
Yeah.
I mean, this is national news, so you know that every little intern that gets paid nothing right now is doing nothing but looking into this.
Either way, unfortunately, this other guy for a while was on the news, and people were looking for him.
No, he was never on the news.
Okay.
The blue
that was
picture,
different information. Okay.
That was information that I got.
That you received. Okay.
That I received, and I never let anybody know. I never told anybody.
Okay, that was very interesting, though.
Yeah, I received that information, never let it go.
Okay,
and that was even before they identified the man in the trailer or Owen. I knew that, my thought was that we were looking for the guy in the blue background picture, and his name was Charles Nicholson, but I didn't let that information out. I am now. I mean, it's all done and said. It's over. It's over.
Yeah.
I mean, except for the crying, the part where Owen hopefully goes to prison.
I know there's going to be more. There'll be a court and trial and all. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's got kidnapping, interstate kidnapping. That's a federal crime. I mean, how many states are between, the Gateway Mall in Milwaukee, Wisconsin? I mean, that's a huge charge. He wrecked and left. That's not a big charge, but he stole his dad's truck, and that might be arguable because they're sons. But at any rate, let's go on to these questions.
Well, we have, another comment, and I totally agree with this one. We need a mental health hospital and a program like Cahoots in Douglas County ASAP.
We do.
Yep.
And I will mention this. This was mentioned in the group, over the past few days, is somebody was like, we need to defund the police and we need to start putting more money into social services and things like Cahoots. So I will agree with half of that, the last half. We need to fund our social services, our mental health, therapy, and getting these people, seen and trying to help them. And we need more police. Okay, so here's the thing. Let's not defund one thing. I mean, there's a lot of people out there listening. Okay, there's 2 people listening, but let's pretend there's a lot of people. All of our fans. Yep. Let's pretend there's a ton of people listening right now. Here's the deal. Okay, here's the thing. A lot of people like football. A lot of people like baseball. How about we do this, folks? We defund football and we fund soccer. You'd be like, whoa, wait, what?
What about baseball?
Soccer's worldwide. It's more important.
What about football?
It's more reaching. Football is an American thing. It's basically soccer, all bad. But so there's the deal. I mean, is we don't need to be pulling this money from one place to another. We need more police. And I mean, if anything, here's a good example of it. This man was able to escape. This man was able to drive to Wisconsin from Coos Bay, Oregon. Okay, via no-tie and Springfield, nevertheless, but he was able to do this. We need more police. I mean, police are the ones that are investigating these people who are being accused of sex crimes. And everybody's like, why don't they do this? Why is it taking so long? We don't have enough police. We don't have enough anything, and the court system is convoluted. So, I mean, I love to hear all this. Let's fund Cahoots. Let us fund Cahoots. Let us get more social services and mental health out there. Let's not take that money from somewhere else. Yeah. Let's start generating it. And everybody's like, but that'd be more taxes. I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
And of course it will.
Really, it's just a place where we are in society right now. But what would be even more ultimate is that we could prevent so many of the problems that lead to the things that require mental health and police and things like that.
We do. So many of these things, like the sexual, the alleged crimes, people are like, well, if we had more social services, this wouldn't happen. And I'm like, who was to know this guy was going to flip out and do this, just like the Coos Bay guy? I mean, was there signs? Did anybody call the police beforehand? No. So there's nothing to know. I mean, you can't catch all of this. And you think that taking money from the police and funding social services will create a better situation than funding both of them. You're wrong. Because most of these people have no sign of mental health. There was a guy, and I don't even think this was Oregon, but somebody can Google it and then tell me I'm a moron. But somebody was driving past this 50-some-year-old man's house with loud exhaust, some little Honda Tuna car or whatever. They're driving up and down the road, making noise, parking, and, revving the engine up. This guy goes outside with a gun, gets in a conflict, shoots the guy, kills him. And people were like, we need more mental health. And I'm like, that wouldn't have done a thing. This guy was an average citizen, not showing a sign of anything, legally owning handguns that he had the right to own. And you're going to tell me you want to defund the police and take their money and put it towards fixing this problem when you don't even know what this problem is. Is it a mental health problem? Everything's a mental health problem. If I go run outside yelling, I'm obviously having a mental health problem. But
until we can do and prevent the things from happening to begin with, I think that we may have to put more towards that. But I like the idea and the approach that people are thinking that not necessarily every issue is something that can be solved with a police officer, and that some things
true.
Can. And
I am absolutely there. There are a lot of things that happen in our community, not even counting the rest of the world or our nation. There are a ton of things where we could send more cahoots out. There's also a ton of things where we could send more police out. There's also a lot of situations that we come upon where there is somebody in a mental crisis that's a danger to himself and the surrounding people. So we need police, because cahoots doesn't disarm people. So if there's a danger, the guy's got a baseball bat, a gun, or a knife, cahoots isn't walking up and taking care of this. The police have to take care of that and disarm him first. So we need this combination working together. And yes, more cahoots will take some of the load off of the police. But right now, the police, they need more police. People are offering sign-in bonuses, and you want to take their money away? Let's give money to both of these, make them work together as a team, to where they can sit down and decide, when a call comes in, maybe not sit down and decide, but, they can have, priority lists of how this works out. Is the guy armed? Is he violent? Send cahoots. Is the guy armed? Is he violent? Send cops and cahoots. Is this guy shot somebody and 4 other people? Send the cops, because cahoots can get to him later. He can get mental health. I mean,
surely there are those out there that have some opinions about this right now, and they could be talking to us.
They could be.
I don't know.
All the time we get,
541-255-3665. Operators are standing by. You can be part of the show, or even just add your comment in.
Yeah, add a comment.
Right there on Facebook and YouTube. You could be included as part of the show.
Yeah, at any rate, that's a hot topic.
It is, I know.
I'm just telling you.
I'm sure it won't be the last time that we talk about that one.
My opinion is fund them both, and then have some money there to make them work symbiotically, so that we can take some of the burden off the police and some of the burden off social services and make things happen. We're still going to have crimes.
For sure, yeah.
But at any rate,
well, let's move on to our next topic. Then,
what do we got? What do we got?
We have this is the blank mug shot that you see when you go and you visit our site, and when a mugshot has not been included.
Oh, that's because they paid you, huh?
No, you're right.
Oh, wait, no, they paid the district attorney. No, they paid the jail off, and you're not going to get something.
But why isn't that guy in the mugshots?
Oh, it's a conspiracy. I'm telling you right now. Just don't even listen to anything we got to say. That's a damn conspiracy right there.
Something going on there.
Yeah. Why is he special? Yeah. Why aren't we showing his picture? Well, go ahead and tell us, Kevin, because you are on the technical side of things.
Well, this week we had a server upgrade, and it took a little bit longer than intended, and there were just a couple of other hiccups that prevented us from posting. So we actually had like a couple of days where we didn't have mug shots.
We have.
Yeah. And sure enough, I mean, I don't know, you run the group. Did you get any flack for that, where people were like, where are the mug shots?
We did, but I mean, amazingly, by coincidence, roll the dice, kismet, or whatever, I picked the story of the week. I mean, accidentally.
Yeah,
but at any rate,
that worked out in our favor for sure.
All of us in that group, including me, were just not even missing the mugshots. It was like, what is the Coos Bay Killer going to do next? Where is he? Right. At any rate, but yeah. So what's up with this? I'm still thinking conspiracy. You're taking money behind my back and not posting these.
Yeah,
you're the
Mike,
technical guy. I can't do this. I mean, well, that guy does.
You can't keep people on in the group not necessarily entertained but informed
or inflamed
when things like this happen. So
yes.
I appreciate what you do there too, Mike.
That took me by surprise.
But this actually, it's a good segue into a story a little bit, because here recently we heard about some legislation. That I guess it's already passed the Oregon House, if I'm not mistaken.
Waiting for a signature.
Okay.
From and I'm just going to tell you right now, we take all kinds of questions and we will read comments. But I'm going to tell you right now, we're not a political group, and we're not going to put up with political crap. It doesn't mean that we love anybody or hate anybody.
There's nothing about that. Yeah.
We have to mention Kate Brown right now, which is just everybody is just going to go off. But we have to mention Kate Brown.
She's the governor of Oregon, so yeah.
We are down with that legislation that you're talking about by her signature making this happen. So, just to get that political vomit out of the way. Okay. But at any rate, so go ahead and tell everybody, I mean, what's this legislation? I mean, what does it have to do with us?
I was hoping you could tell me a little bit more about it, because I've been so involved in doing the upgrades that I kind of need to know, so that I know what we have to look forward to.
Well, let's go off the basics that applies to the listeners. After the show, we can go over some of the stuff that applies to us as being the owner of this website.
Sure.
But how does this affect you as a criminal and you as a viewer for our our website and our many pages and groups? Well, what you're going to end up seeing if this legislation happens is this legislation only affects the picture. It is only saying that they're not going to post a picture. It is very specific.
And no picture at all will be posted?
So no picture. Yeah. But we will have, much like, and I hate to bring up Coos Bay again, but I've kind of followed Coos Bay arrests, and they don't publish pictures, but there's all the information. So back to your picture where there is nothing but a silhouette of a man with a very fine haircut, or a woman, that's all we'll be able to show you. And it's not because we're restricted. Nobody will get this information. Mugshots will only be for law enforcement to pass between themselves. Like let's say somebody in Milwaukee wants a mugshot of somebody from Coos Bay or vice versa. They'll be able to do that. Law enforcement will be able to release the pictures if the person has been convicted of the crimes. The only other way that these mugshots can be viewed is if law enforcement needs to look for somebody. For instance, I'm sorry, it's just been what goes on, but for instance, our fair man Owen here, evidently he doesn't have a mugshot anywhere that we can get, but they can post pictures of somebody he's wanted in connection with 3 murders. But that's going to be it, folks. And being able to request these mugshots from people that have been convicted is going to be few and far in between. Most of the reason is that by the time conviction comes, even though I've been trying to follow some of these sex offenders and let people know where we are at in that trial process and that judicial process, without that, people usually don't remember them. I mean, KCI will be like, remember John Peters? He's going to prison. And everybody's like, huh? Who is he?
Yeah, right.
Because it happened so long. Yeah. So why am I to show you a picture? But this silhouette picture is all we're going to be able to show you if this gets signed. And it is being pushed through by a lot of our
ex-law enforcement is involved. Yeah. I am of mixed feeling, and this is where I would really like to hear from folks, either through the comments or through the call-in, because this means a lot. I mean, this is what we do. We post mugshots, and we post community information, and so now we may not see as much traffic to our site.
I'm not as worried about that.
Well, I worry a little because it's the way that we earn revenue that helps us do the work that we do. So that's one thing. But there are other reasons why I'm not happy with it. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead with why you're not unhappy about it. I'm just saying people are still going to look at these names, and I will post old mugshots below them, and there's nothing anybody can do about it.
This is true. Well, I guess that I would say that we've had this conversation before with others over time, and so there are pros, there are cons to posting mugshots, and one of them definitely is the fact that we don't know if any of these people have been, or if they're guilty or not. They haven't been through the courts, and so we don't know, and it could certainly be damaging to those that are innocent.
It could be. It could be.
It could be. On the flip side, go through any edition of our mugshots, take a look at the people there, take a look at the charges, and people like that don't wind up in the mugshots because they were sitting on the front porch drinking tea. Something happened, something involved in there. So they did something that got them picked up and put in jail. So
absolutely. Yeah. And that's the thing. This isn't Chicago. The last time that people had charges dropped recently that I've been following, and I'm not even going to name names, but the reasons were we don't have enough good evidence in order to go to trial. We don't feel that any jury would convict of this.
So that's why a lot of charges get dropped.
And they get dropped.
Not because they're innocent.
Nobody went, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
John Doe here was not in Cottage Grove, Oregon to commit this heinous crime. He was in Reno, Nevada, throwing his paycheck away while his wife had no idea where he was. Mm-hmm. So she's still mad, but he didn't commit a rape. We don't have a lot of that going on here. By the time the DA decides they're going to go after something, we are, and I'm not saying anything bad about Lane County, but we are not a rich county anymore. We used to be back in the timber days. But
right.
We are basically a poor county, and we have to count our little dollars when it comes to who do we prosecute and who don't we. I would love to see everybody get their fair day in court, but this isn't possible anymore, and a lot of things are being dropped. But I've spoke to some law enforcement in different areas of Lane County, and all in all, what I'm hearing from them is that these mugshots are a great tool for them to be able to access, like from a site like ours. It's more difficult for them to access. If they're out on the road, it's difficult for them to access actual mugshots. It's easier for them to go to our site.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
There's a lot of protocol.
I've gotten that feedback from a lot of
law
enforcement.
And rightly so. Law enforcement should have these things locked up, just like investigation, records, what's going on with an investigation. It should be hard to get to. But they're like, if we go to your place, But they also say that this really helps the public to be able to look through mugshots. It helps identify people that they have seen stealing cars. Everybody nowadays seems to have not only a cell phone or a camera outside of their house or a Ring doorbell, or even one in the car. We get so many more films now of people like, these people broke into the backyard and they stole this. They took my cans. They did this. They did that. They stole the car. They robbed our car. They robbed our house. Here's the Ring doorbell. And the public gets to go through and look at these mugshots and see if they can come up with somebody that looks viable. And even if they're wrong, the thing is that they're helping to solve something. Because if 10 people show a mugshot and go like, this looks like the guy that broke into that house and killed that 74-year-old woman, which is something I just made up, in that kind of a made-up case, then the police would look at these, tips and be like, okay, well, Bob was in Las Vegas, John was at work. We got these two guys. Let's look at it. Oh, look, there's a tattoo in the picture. This guy looks like he's got a tattoo. Okay, we're gonna focus on this guy and ask him questions, not necessarily arrest him or shoot him or something dumb, but it's a lead. When someone misrepresents a license plate, is that a horrible thing? Yeah, it was TKP 519. No, it was something else. So I don't know. I'm hearing a lot both ways, and I get it. If you're innocent and you get put up on our deal, and that's another thing. People are like, how do you get those two photos on the front? Those are the worst two charges. Rarely do we have someone associated with a rape or a murder or like assault one that doesn't get convicted, perhaps on a lower charge, but doesn't get a conviction on something that big to any degree about that case. So we put those ones up there instead of like open container. No, it wasn't an open container. You know, there's a lot of homeless people, and maybe that was a Budweiser can they rinsed out to put water in, and there was a confusion. It really wasn't a crime. We don't put those people on the front, but yeah, it's But show them again. This is what mugshots will look like if this passes.
Yeah, pretty much.
We will get
you'd
the
be looking at this.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
So instead of a picture
Instead
with
of a
all
picture,
the information below it,
yeah,
what you're going to get is this silhouette. And yes, we're going to use the same one for men and women, because I have seen men and women that look just like this.
I know. I know this person.
I've seen
totally met this person.
Long-haired
Long time
men
ago.
and short-haired women. So we're not even going to get into that. There's a man. Could be Ellen DeGeneres. I think that's actually the person.
I totally
that
think it
posed.
is.
That's Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah, that's where I got this.
People
Mike.
can just.
Yep.
What is that? Pack sand.
Yeah.
We're not going to play this game.
Okay. Hey, you know what? We're going to follow up on this as we learn more. There'll probably be more in the next episode for sure on this one.
Do we have any more questions that are pertinent?
Not at the moment.
I mean, I'm sure somebody wants to know what I use for shampoo for these luscious locks, but nope.
So far not, yeah. But we definitely want to move on and tell people about our neighborhood watch tip. So let's go ahead and do that. And then there we go, another transition theme. Mike, it says here, keep up your yard. What do you think they mean by that?
Gosh, I mean, I think I know, but I'll just be.
How does that even help with neighborhood watch?
Yeah, you need to plant more plants, and some azaleas. Those are nice. And do you have anything hanging from your porch area? These are important. No, Kevin, go ahead and tell us what is really. I mean, what does this keep up your yard?
Keep up your yard.
What is that all about?
I guess the idea behind that is that if you don't keep up your yard and just let things grow and stuff like that, then eventually you start looking something like this here, where it's easier for people to kind of hide and get to stay.
Yeah. I mean, somebody could be laying.
Somebody
in the
could be hiding
right
in those
there.
bushes, right? Yeah,
you can't see it. I can't even see the doorway. I mean,
I know. Check out this yard right here. I mean, this.
Yeah, there's three people behind that hedge crawling through the window.
Totally, that's where all the criminals.
2 more people in the grass.
Yeah, totally. The criminals hide right in there.
Yes.
Yeah, and even here, if you just aren't careful, that foliage grow up, you don't even find the house. You can't even see it.
Well, that guy's pretty old. He's gonna lose his house. No, I mean literally, he won't remember.
Totally.
But no, poignantly. Hey,
check this out.
That's my backyard, isn't it?
You would almost think so.
Why?
Yeah, but if you could hide a car, if you could hide a car, then you can hide a person.
Well, maybe I should shut up because we hid like some semi trucks and trailers. And
you had a lot of stuff back there. I remember.
For a while there, I was the epitome of that. If you mowed your backyard and you hit a car you didn't know was there, you're a redneck. But at any rate, those 40 vehicles, trailers, and semis are gone from my backyard, and this is not a picture of my backyard. Because I'd have kept that.
Well, so the whole idea is that if you have more of something like this, so see that well maintained, where are you going to hide? You might get in there, in a few.
There's not a lot of coverage, whereas in some of those last pictures, you could lay down in the lawn, somebody could look out the window, and you would not be seen.
Totally, yeah.
You want to not create natural areas where people can be hidden.
Yeah. See this? I mean, where are you going to hide there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody's going to be able to do it. And, here we go. This place right here, you might be able to slip in there somewhere, but,
Sure. I mean, there's common sense, too. I mean, we're not going to strip mine somebody's yard so that, But, I mean, the idea is that first picture, the first couple pictures we showed, including what was not my backyard ever. Mine was worse than that. But the grass is tall, and there's obstacles that people can hide around and behind. I mean, you can walk out your front door as some of those pictures you showed. Somebody could be 5 feet from you, and you'd never know it.
You would never know.
And I'm talking daylight. But at any rate, yes, and this isn't about making your place look like a $4.9 million home.
Yeah.
These are just examples, but whatever. Keep it simple. Yeah. Keep it trim. Yeah. Don't
just
create.
A tip from us to you, and do with it what you will.
Yeah,
so.
Don't create spots where people can hide. Yeah. I mean, that's.
Yep. So, Mike, we get to the part of the show that everybody wants to know. It is what's in Mike's hand.
The America version of it. Look at that red, white, and blue. What's in Mike's red, white, and blue hand?
I thought that was pretty cool. I made that graphic.
Yeah. No, it's good. I mean, 4th of July is coming up. Mm-hmm. But so I've got I do not have our handy Lane County Mugshot mug.
Yeah, what do you got?
I have a mug.
Different mug.
My 10-year-old daughter gave me this morning after I woke up.
Oh, got something like
Yeah, and it says here on both sides of the mug. I know you probably can't see it from there, but it says, "Being your favorite child seems like gift enough, but here's a mug." So she also she bought me a card, which was let me see if I can bring that up for me. I don't have a slide of it for everybody else, but with the mug came a card, and the card said on the front, "Dad, thanks for being my dad. If I had a different dad, I would punch him in the face and go find you." This is my 10-year-old.
Your 10-year-old's got a really good sense of humor, I have to say.
She's awesome. Yeah, and would she punch somebody? Well, I don't think that's.
She wouldn't hurt a fly.
Yeah, I don't think that's something I should say on with all these millions of people listening. No. So we'll just go with no. But at any rate, that's what my card said. Is thanks for being my dad. If I had a different dad, I would punch him in the face and go find you.
Nice.
What are you gonna, Kevin?
My son gave me this Simpsons mug. He knows I'm a Simpsons fan, so thank you. Yes, to my son for that. That was really cool. So we're both enjoying some mugs from our kids on Father's Day, and happy Father's Day to the fathers out there.
All the fathers, and
unless you're a bad deadbeat father, but
and then we're just going to post your mugshot.
Yeah. So what's in there? We didn't even
get to that. Yeah. It's just water, Kevin. No, I'm just kidding.
Now it is.
So so what it is we went to the Cresswell liquor store, and I got to tell you a funny tiny story. When I was a young kid, my mom baked and cooked. She was good. She was good at cooking and baking, and she always had vanilla extract. And as a very small child, like 5-6 years old, I used to drink the vanilla extract. There really isn't enough to get anything, because there's alcohol in it. But I mean, we're talking about it, like a 1.5 ounce bottle. Yeah. But I love vanilla. And we were in the Cresswell liquor store today, and I had no idea. This just caught my eye. It said Dr. McGillicuddy's raw vanilla liqueur. And I was like, God, I really love vanilla. I'm going to try it. And it's not bad. It isn't,
yeah.
It's not here, I'll show the camera.
Yep.
Yeah,
good stuff. Yep.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yep.
So the thing is, I thought that would be a good thing to try. I threw a bunch of ice in my 10-year-old's coffee mug that she bought me that I did drink coffee out of. Mm-hmm. And it's good. It's not that strong vanilla flavor that I had hoped for, that I used to get from Mom's, baking ingredients.
Yeah, but it's not bad, and it's pretty sweet if you're not.
It's a liqueur, it's sweet. Mm-hmm. It's not as sweet as some liqueurs, and it was great. Liked it. Put it on some ice. Definitely the ice melts. It's kind of like water with it. It was good to sip on. So that's what was in my hand. Is my brand new mug for Father's Day.
Very cool.
Some vanilla liqueur.
Yeah. Oh, all right. We're getting pretty close to the end of the show, so Mike, we're going to tell people about a couple of things here. First of all, our Lost and Found, thanking Cheryl for managing that group.
Yes.
She does a great job with that. If you go to Google and just type in Lane County Lost and Found, if you get past the paid-for advertising with Palm Boost, you will find that Lane County Mugshots Lost and Found is the first result. So
I got to tell you something. I am not a fan of Palm Boost.
Yeah, we
have a website and we have Google AdSense on it. So when people go and visit our website, it helps pay for this equipment. I mean, and these are fractions of a penny per visit. But here's the thing. when we do our lost and found, there is no money involved in that. There's nothing. We're not even talking fractions of a penny. Paw Boost, on the other hand, you cannot get the information about the lost or found animal unless you go to their website.
So
you see their ad and you're like, oh my God, that looks like Chippy, our golden retriever. You can't just look at that, write down a phone number, or click on the phone number and call somebody off the internet. You literally have to go to their website.
Yeah, they're kind of in.
That annoys me.
Yeah.
We do ours for free, and we suggest, please post on our site. We don't make a fraction of a penny in 10 years. We make nothing. Put your ad on there. Put your contact information on there. Put it all in one deal. People will see it. If they see your animal or they're the owner of the animal you found, they can get a hold of you without clicking and going away to some other website.
Yep, and that's actually an important point. Something that we usually will mention on the show here is that this page, when you get to it, is a public page, so it's available. You can see, even though it's Facebook, nobody's logged in here. Actually, these are bits of information and more stuff. Yeah, it helps if you don't click the buttons that you're not supposed to click when they do them.
Let me see if I can do it again. Damn it, sorry.
Not your fault, man. It's totally mine. Totally on this end. We'll get this figured out. Maybe in our 1,000th episode.
Episode 5 million.
Will be the one that goes perfectly.
But what Kevin's telling you is that unlike Lane County Mugshots Uncensored, this is a public group. You don't have to join it. You don't have to say you like it or you want to be a member. You can cruise through, and even if you're not a member, you can share posts from there.
And that's the important thing.
And that's the important thing. This does nothing but, and I'm not complaining, this takes a lot of Cheryl's time, and it takes a little of my time, and it takes very little of Kevin's time. But there is absolutely not even a fraction of a penny to be made on this in a lifetime. This is something we do 100%, but we also don't have a website for it, and we never want to. This is simple as it is. Facebook's free. Why do I need to direct you to a website? This is free. You can go there. Anybody can go there. Click
and
on
there
it.
It is. Yep.
Like it or don't. It's Lane County's largest
lost and found. Yep. Well, Mike, the rest of the goodness that they can find on the internet is right here, lcmugs.com. You can see all this happy goodness here. And when I say happy goodness, I'm just kidding around. These are the mugshots here. And also other stuff that we have on the site that you can check out. Shirts, hats, hoodies, mugs, and maybe a shot glass someday. We're thinking about it.
I don't know.
Mugshot. I don't know. It just makes sense to me.
I really think a 16-ounce clear pounder with a black...
You thinking so?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love coffee and beer.
Yep. Also, ways to listen to us. We are on Stitcher, Pandora, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and our own very, very own Eugene Talk Radio. Also, Facebook and YouTube as always. So, and then our next episode, Mike. We've been talking about this one. It's July 4th. So if we're going to do an episode, we would probably just maybe go out on the road. We're going to do a little neighborhood patrol here in Cresswell. And
we are. There's, not to get too deep in it, but the chamber couldn't do a parade. And there might possibly be some kind of parade activity. I don't know. What we'll do is on the 4th of July, we will bring you live from Cresswell. We will drive around.
Whatever's going on in Cresswell at 6 o'clock during a normal showtime. we'll show you.
We will drive around in the ex-Lane County Sheriff's Office, now black
Lane County Mugshots car.
The Lane County Mugshots public patrol car, and we will bring you live what's happening in Cresswell. Even if it's nothing, even if it's a couple little kids popping off some little sparklers, we're going to show you what's going on in Cresswell on the 4th of July. During the daylight hours. Once the Chamber of Commerce, who is the only entity doing fireworks.
Yes.
At that point, we won't be showing you what's happening.
Yes, the Chamber is doing fireworks this year. That is awesome.
No one else is doing fireworks. No one else is paying for fireworks.
It is the Chamber,
No one else paid for these fireworks. I just want to be specific, and maybe no one knows why, but some people do know why I'm being specific. But the Chamber of Commerce for Cresswell is the only entity that is doing actual fireworks show for Cresswell. But at any rate, we
Well,
will
that
be
takes
live.
us. Yeah, that's the end of the show, Mike. We're done. So
Holy-
thank you for joining us, and come back July 4th, 6 o'clock p.m. for episode 14, which is On the Road.
On the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see us online, lcmugs.com, lanecountymugshots.com. Either way, we'll get you there. Be sure to like our videos and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, subscribe.
And don't forget,
Spay new to your grandparents. Oh, okay, I'm just kidding. Spay new to your pets, people. It's out of control out there, trust me.